Ah, there you are, my boy. Oh, is that your new Lord of the Rings deck? Let me see it. Oh, some very good cards in here. Oh. Oh, good heavens! What is this? Food chain in your deck? No son of mine is going to Friday Night Magic with this abomination. Who are you trying to impress, this Spike who hasn't showered in 2 weeks?
Hey man, that's not cool.
Oh, no, 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 no. This simply will not do. I'll show you a real man's Aragorn deck. How you doing, Planeswalkers, and welcome to another banger video where I'm going to show you guys the ultimate Aragorn the Uniter deck list. As always, if a card is too expensive in the deck list, just know there are ways around that. So getting things started, Aragorn the Uniter is a red, green, white, blue human noble that gives us various effects based on the color of the spell we are casting. So if it is a white spell, we make a human token. If it is blue, we scry 2. If it is red, it deals 3 damage to target opponent. And if it's green, it gives us +4/+4 to target creature to its power and toughness. A side note, if the spell is multicolored, you will get the effects from each color. So if you play an Orzhov card, you're going to make a token and you're going to scry 2. So it's pretty clear that this is a very powerful card, and there's definitely a lot of degenerate ways you can go with it. But today I chose to take a step back, and we're just going to do a nice, calm human token deck that's going to swarm the board and kill everybody pretty quickly. There's actually a couple good Lord of the Rings only cards that we got that are just going to be good in Commander in general that we got recently, and they're in this deck and they're very strong, especially when those tokens have haste. So, is it overpowered? No. Is this deck fun? Yes, I would say this deck is very fun, especially if you love token synergies. And just so you guys know, I know some of you want the Lord of the Rings version only. I do have that coming out, but that is going to come out tomorrow in its own separate video. And if you're a fan of the Fellowship, I definitely think you're going to enjoy that deck. But again, that'll be out tomorrow. So, that's it, guys. Let's go into the creatures and see how we make these tokens. First, we have our rammed creatures. This is going to include Noble Hierarch since it's a human, Catilda Dawnheart Prime since our deck is filled with humans and she can pump late game, Heron Blade Elite, which is going to ramp us and then become a problem itself. And for our token makers, we have Adeline, Resplendent Cathar, which is quite the card, especially when we have 3 opponents to generate tokens off of, Henwar Garrison, and Formir, Prince of Ithlin. I don't know how to pronounce it. My bad, guys. Next, we have Lost Mac Captain, which is not only going to make us tokens, but it's also going to tap down their blockers. We have Erwin Shield Maiden, which is basically going to be our star player. She makes very strong tokens and 2 at that, and then she draws us cards, so it's easily one of the better cards in our deck. For the last token maker, we have Riders of Rohan. Now, for our humans that care about other humans, we do have the Champion of Perished, Coppercoat Vanguard, Thalia's Lieutenant, and next we have the girl boss herself, which is going to be Champion of Lamphold. Devote Chaplain, which is going to get rid of those artifacts and enchantments. Brigand of the Guard, which is basically going to work to pump our board. Last, we have Eomer, King of Rohan, to add the Monarch to the game. Hannah and Helena, partners, because basically they're great. And Kyler Sigarden, Emissary. He's just the goat of the human deck, very strong human himself, and he cares about a lot of other humans. For utility, we have Dockside Extortionist and Teamer Sabertooth. Don't worry, guys, they're honorary humans, and I'll explain them after the deck list in the combo part of our deck. Next, we have Eternal Witness, which is a commander staple. Sigarda, Font of Blessings, to give us card advantage and protection. We are playing 2 Planeswalkers in the deck. That's going to be Huatli, Radiant Champion, which we're trying to get the emblem on, and which thankfully this Planeswalker you can actually get the emblem in a game of Commander because it's usually only 1 turn away. And Elspeth, Sun's Champion, to make us more tokens and board wipe if necessary. Next, we have our spells, and the first thing I want to show off is our token creation spells, and that's going to start with 4th Iralengus, definitely saying that wrong, too bad, which is one of the strong spells. I've actually cast it in a game of Commander, and I killed someone with it, so yep, it's a good card, confirmed. Next, we have Join the Dance and Rally the Hornburg, which is a haste enabler. Then we have Call a Coppercoat, which has a huge upside, but be honest, this card does have a really bad downside depending on your meta at your table. We also have Increasing Devotion and Visions of Glory to finish things off. For removal, we are playing Swords to the Plowshare and Path to Exile, and Decimate to basically hit everything. The ramp spells are going to include Farseek, 3 Visits, Nature's Lore, and Sky Shroud Claim to basically find all our triomes. We play all the triomes that we can, so all those cards can find them, so perfect for us. For utility spells, we do have They Shall Know No Fear for protection. Feel free to put in Heroic Intervention in this spot. I just like the pump off of the card. We have Dovin's Veto, basically to counter, Bant Charm, and finally Jeskai Charm as well. The Charm cycle in this deck, guys, is great, especially with our commander on the battlefield. It's primarily why we play them. Artifacts and enchantments is going to give us a lot of ways to make more tokens. So starting off, we have Horn of Gondor, Anduril, Flame of the West. I definitely said that wrong. Too bad. Outlaw's Merriment, which I'm always looking for an excuse to play. Wedding Announcement, Stensia Uprising with Oath of E-Roll. Hopefully that's right. And that's going to do a lot of things for us. Make tokens, do the whole business. For card draw, we have Toskia's Welcome, which doesn't care about the sizing of our creatures, which is going to be important. Skull Clamp to basically make good use of our tokens. And next, I put in some ways to ping the opponent when we make these creatures. So we have Impact Tremors and Vigilante Justice, which basically has the upside of clearing the board. For ramp, we are playing Arcane Signet, Fellware Stone, and Chromatic Lantern, and Skyclave Relic. Token doublers are going to include Anointed Procession and Parallel Lives. For some random includes, I have Lightning Greaves to protect Aragorn, Halo Fountain for an alternate win con, and Shared Animosity to kill the table. Citadel Siege to basically tap blockers or grow our board, and Cathar's Crusade to end the game. Does the exact same thing, not the exact same thing, but it does something similar to Shared Animosity that usually when you play this on the following turn, people start getting out of the game, right? If they go unanswered. Now for the extreme mana package. So as a 4-color deck, we are going to be playing every single Shockland available to us, which is going to include Temple Garden, Stomping Ground, Steam Vents and Sacred Foundry, Hollow Fountain, and Breeding Pool. For fetch lands, we're going to be playing their counterparts of the Shocklands. That's going to include Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath, Scalding Tarn, Misty Rainforest, Flooded Strand, and Arid Mesa. Now, yes, you could play the other fetch lands, but you could also just not. Just don't do it, since the colors don't match. And we like to play civilized decks here, okay? Next, we have the 3-color lands, which is going to be a big list since we are playing the Triomes and the regular ones too. So that's going to start with Spara's Headquarters, Triome, sue me, Ketra Triome, Jetmir's Guardian, Seaside Citadel, Mystic Monastery, Jungle Shrine, and Frontier Bivouac. For utility lands, we are playing Castle Ardenvale, Minas Tirith, Mines of Moria, Path of Ancestry, and Plaza of Heroes, and Exotic Orchard. For basics, we are still playing basically 2 of each color. Next, we're going to go over the combo of the deck, because that's going to do it for our deck list. So, there is a combo in this deck, and it's actually a really simple one. It's Dockside, Extortionist, and Temur Sabertooth. So the way it works is, guys, we're going to start with our Temur Sabertooth on the battlefield. Then we play Dockside and make at least 5 treasures with him. Then we use Temur Sabertooth's ability to put Dockside into our hand, and then replay him and loop this until we have infinite mana, because we're netting 1 treasure each time. Then we cast Aragorn, use the cast trigger of Dockside to kill our opponent with a 3 damage at a time, because keep in mind, Dockside is a red spell. So we have infinite mana, get Aragorn down, then we start the loop again with Dockside Extortionist, kill the table. So it's pretty simple, but I did want to include at least 1 combo, just depending on your meta, to give you an idea in the ballpark that you need to basically change your deck if you need to, depending on your meta again. Well, that's going to do it for today's video, guys, and remember, tomorrow I will be posting a video on this deck with only Lord of the Rings cards. Like and subscribe if you don't want to miss it, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.